What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you a Week 7 battle for the IBL. This is a new league. If you guys are familiar with the channel, if you guys have been here for a while, we participated in the IBL Season 4, I believe it was, where we actually went to the finals. Unfortunately, we did lose that game, which really sucks, but it would have been our first championship, but we have won since then, and our only one since then. But what are you going to do? IBL, we performed really well in. We joined another season a while back, and we cut, like, I think we joined after like week 8 or something in a 12-week long season, and we took over a team that was pretty rough, and we didn't end up making playoffs in that one. I think we need to like win out or go 3-1 to make playoffs and have a really good diff during that. So it didn't end up happening, but we are taking over again this season. And part of the reason why I want to take over is because of their Gigantamax rules. I want to test it out. I'm doing a series, at least I'm planning to start a series. Hopefully it'll be going up either this past week or starting this upcoming week. And that series would be talking about Gigantamax mons, and I want to kind of go over and test the waters with as many Gigantamax mons as I can. So we'll see what we can do with that. But looking at this matchup, looking at this game, we are playing against the Uppsula Umbreons and their coach Sven Thun. This is a game that is pretty important. Both of us are 4-2. The team that I took over was 4-2, so it's a really good record. They did just come off losing 2 weeks in a row, and this is the team that you see on screen that they have. Kind of interesting. Their kill leader you would think would be something like G-Max Flapple or Excadrill or Tyranitar. No, it's Girder. Girder has like 9 kills in the season so far, which is nuts. But, I mean, more power to Girder, I guess. The big thing with this team is it doesn't really fit my playstyle that well, and because I did make a ton of transactions, I have an insane team coming up next week. So you guys will see that in our Week 9 battle. Week 7 battle. Week 8 battle. Numbers are hard. Anyways, we are playing for Week 7 right now as there's a fire truck or ambulance or something going by, and this is a very interesting that we're playing. We're playing against a rain team who is also 4 wins, 2 losses. He took over the team, I believe, last week was his first week, and he played against D-Ray, and I watched the battle. I'm not going to lie, I don't think he should have won the game. D-Ray did have a misplay, which ended up costing him the match, and there really wasn't an out for my opponent if there was... Well, the Thunderbolt was clicked, basically. If you guys have seen the battle, you know what I'm talking about, but regardless. I think we have a really decent shot this game, even with the team being old. I think we have a better shot with our newer team, but regardless, this is the team we're bringing this time around. Looking at the matchup, it's Rain. Rain is tough to beat. He has G-Max Dreadnought, which is terrifying because it can run a Life Orb, and it has Swift Swim, which is incredible. He's got access to 2 other Swift, well, one other Swift Swim user, being the Pelipper, Ludicolo, Rain with Pelipper. He's got Toxicroak, which thrives in rain because of dry skin. The Clefable and the Hydreigon is a great pairing no matter what. One of the best walls for Hydreigon is Clefable, even though it does get Flash Cannon, and he managed to get rid of that with taking over a team with Clefable, so there's that. Cursula is very scary. His ground type, which is a bit of a weakness for his team, is the Dugtrio Alolan form. Looking at the rest of his team, he doesn't have any other, like, even resist. No, he has what? He has 1 resist? 2 resists. 2 resists to ground, being the Rotom, or electric, excuse me, being the Rotom and the Hydreigon, and then 1 immunity in the Dugtrio. I don't believe the Dugtrio comes, and it really does not help him without an immunity because we can just Volt Switch around with our Bolt Hunt. So looking at this team, I think we have a definite chance. That is G-Max Flapple on the screen, guys. That's on our team, so keep that in mind. And let's go ahead and jump right into our team for this battle. So the first one we're going to be bringing is going to be our G-Max Flapple. This is a great mon. This matchup is really solid here. One of the rules that I didn't really mention beforehand was that we can run any item we want to for our Gigantamax mon. So G-Max Flapple, yeah, it's got Hustle. Yeah, I can miss when it's not Gigantamax, but oh boy, if I get the Dragon Dance, you better believe it's going to be really, really difficult for my opponents to get a win. Basically, if we get a Dragon Dance up, which the Yachi Berry allows us to do a lot more consistently because of the Ice Beams from the Ludicolo, from the Pelipper, we can take an Ice Beam from... That's pretty much it. I don't think we're going to take one from the Mr. Mime unless it's a very bulky spread. We take one from the Rotom Frost if we have our Gigantamax up, which is nice. We basically just want to make sure we get up a Dragon Dance and then go for a game because a Max Grab Apple is going to do tons of damage. The G-Max Tartness is what it is. It lowers evasiveness for my opponent. So if for some reason they live the hits, let's say it's my last turn of Gigantamax, none of my attacks are going to kill them. I might as well go for Grab Apple, G-Max Grab Apple, which will lower my opponent's evasiveness, and then I'll be able to hit a Hustle boosted attack more often than not, which is important. Acrobatics is there because just in case we don't have the speed boost from the Dragon Dance, I can go for the Max Flying, which will give us that speed boost. I really didn't need anything else other than Outrage and Grab Apple, so there's that. We have speed for +1, so we outspeed anything that is not Scarfed or any of the Swift Storms that's not in the rain. So that's important to note. We take a Modest Hurricane from Pelipper and a Timid one after Rocks, and we have Yachi for the Rotom Blizzard, which is important to note. I believe there were some other calcs I want to point out here. Yeah, so we take a Jolly Gunk Shot after Rocks, and an Adamant one without Rocks from the Toxicroak, and a Timid Life Orb Sludge Wave after Rocks. We take an Adamant Life Orb G-Max Mega Horn from Dreadnought, and again, all these calcs, like I'm saying, are in Gigantamax form, which is very important to note because it's not the greatest mon in the world, Flapple, and it doesn't have the greatest typing either, honestly, and I'm just hoping that we can, Dragon Dance up and then go for a game that way because it's going to be a really good breaker for us this game. Our next mon is going to end up being our Boltund here. Boltund is a really solid matchup this week. It has Strong Jaw, which is a great ability for it because it gets the Elemental Fangs, Crunch, Psychic Fangs, stuff that work. It has speed for Dugtrio Alolan form. We're at 121. We outspeed everything on his team, which is fantastic. And we also have speed for Modest Scarf Pelipper, which is very nice. Volt Switch is very free against my opponent's team. Thunderfang is as well. Player hits the Hydreigon. Firefang hits the Dugtrio. Everything else is really getting hit by Thunderfang. So, Firefang is for the Dugtrio and the Rotom, and Thunderfang for everything else. This is a really strong set. We can, again, like I said, freely Volt Switch around my opponent's team. If he doesn't bring the Dugtrio, then good luck. And it's a really good way to check the Hydreigon if it's not Scarf. If it is Scarf and it's locked into like Flash Cannon or something, or Dark Pulse or Dragon Pulse, we actually take the hit. We take a Life Orb, Timid, Dragon, or Dark Pulse from Hydreigon with our defense investment, our special defense investment, and yeah, I think this is a really solid mon for us. I want to use Boltund for a long time, and it's going to be sticking on the team going forward because I think it's just a really cool mon. I think the speed for it that it has with Strong Jaw and the coverage it has is really underrated, so I'm hoping that we can do some work with it. Our next mon is going to be our Galarian Weezing here. This is running the Neutralizing Gas this week with the Black Sludge. The reason for that is because we want to neutralize my opponent going for Drizzle. So let's say it's lead Weezing against lead Pelipper, no rain for you. Let's say it's Galarian Weezing against, I don't know, Ludicolo, or it's against Dreadnought, then you don't get access to your Swift Swim, which honestly doesn't make that much of a difference because I'm not running much speed on this set, but still it's just nice to have just in case, I guess. Is there anything else that's really important to neutralize the ability of? Clefable is the big one. Clefable is huge because if we match get a Sludge Bomb off and Poison, which is 30% chance, same as Scald, which is why I'm running Sludge Bomb over Sludge Wave, we can do 12% to it guaranteed, even if it's Magic Guard. Pain Split is there because it recovers back some HP. Will-O-Wisp is there because it burns the Dreadnought. Basically, the plan is if I go up against the Dreadnought and I find out that he's not Life Orb, my plan is to Pain Split. Pain Split will, unfortunately, not do a ton of damage because it's G-Max. I don't know why the mechanic is like that, but basically it's not going to do a ton of damage. But Will-O-Wisp then will be able to burn it, which is huge because burning the Dreadnought is absolutely crucial for our chance to win this game. Dreadnought is terrifying, and if I can burn it, that's amazing. I can also Pain Split up on quite a few other things. The Clefable won't be able to do very much to me. I can Pain Split up against that. The Toxicroak will be able to kill me. Ludicolo, yes. Basically, it's like I can heal like up against the Cursula or like the Rotom, I guess. But yeah, honestly, it's going to be kind of a one-trick pony. Get rid of one of a few threats, being the Clefable, Hydreigon, Dreadnought, or the Ludicolo, honestly. So I'm hoping that we can do that. We have speed for 12 speed Pelipper. We have the bulk for Timid, Life Orb Flash Cannon from Hydreigon. We take a Jolly Earthquake from Life Orb Dugtrio, an Adamant Life Orb Earthquake from Dreadnought as well, which is huge. And that is a max Earthquake, I believe. We also take a Modest Specs or regular Earth Power from, a Modest Specs Shadow Ball or a regular Earth Power from Cursula. Important to note there. Cursula is very, very offensive, very strong, just kind of slow, and if I can get off a Strange Steam, maybe confuse that thing, that'd be nice. So, and if we're already chipped down, I can bring this thing in and just recover back up a ton of HP. Our next mon is going to end up being our Girder here. Girder is the kill leader for our team, and it's coming again this week, even though, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Girder, but we'll see, honestly. It can be taken advantage of by quite a few things, but it can also take advantage of a lot of mons because of its coverage and its power and just its insane physical bulk with the Eviolite. So this is our set. Kind of a pain to gen in because it evolves every time it evolves every single time I trade it. So anyways, so we with this set, we can take an Adamant Max Water move from the Dreadnought in Rain, or a Life Orb Drake Meteor from Hydreigon. We have attack to always Oko Hydreigon, creeping Rotom with Drain Punch, and then Mach Punch is able to pick things off, knock off to get rid of items. Poison Jab for Clefable does like 50% to it, which is fantastic, and we live a Moonblast unless it's like Life Orb, which again, if he's running a Life Orb Clefable against me, I understand it, but I have quite a few answers to it, including a Excadrill, which I have Sand for, so may not want to run that because I would outspeed it regardless, so I don't really expect that to be coming. Clefable, if it comes, honestly, I wouldn't be, like, it could come, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it didn't, so that's that. Our next mon number 5, is going to be our Tyranitar. Here we are running a Scarf T-Tar this week to really scare my opponent and kind of pick things off. His team does have a good bit of momentum with Pelipper specifically, and let's say it's Pelipper versus something else and I want to switch out. I'm going to go into my Tyranitar, that way I'll get rid of the rain, and then he'll be probably U-turning out into something, but he wouldn't U-turn out into his Dreadnought because he would want to make sure he has rain up. He wouldn't U-turn out into his Ludicolo because, again, he wants to make sure he has rain up. So he might U-turn out into the Clefable, into the Hydreigon, or into something like the Toxicroak, and Earthquake will always KO the Toxicroak, and Vacuum Wave shouldn't do a ton of damage to us, even though we are force resisted because we do have the sand and we are pretty bulky on the special side. We have speed for any non-Scarf Mons or any Mons in rain. Our opponent has 2 rock resist and both of them are weak to Earthquake. I believe it's the Dugtrio and the Toxicroak, and again, like I said, both weak to Earthquake. And we have Crunch just for a guaranteed bit of damage. We also live a Jolly Earthquake from Dugtrio after rocks. The main purpose of it is to get rid of the rain. Our final Mon is not going to be the Excadrill. We're not bringing the Sand Core this week. We are bringing Mantine. We are counter weathering him. His weather is better than our weather, 100%. He's got 2 different abusers. He's got a really solid setter which can U-turn out, has recovery. It's really decent, and honestly, it may not be able to do as many things as Tyranitar, but it does what it does, which is set up weather really well. So I brought Mantine here. I want to give a shout out to D-Ray. We are bringing Happy in honor of him. We are running an offensive Swift Swim Life Orb Mantine this week. We speed tie with Ludicolo, which is huge. We also outspeed an Adamant Dreadnought in rain. This helps counter his weather, which is amazing. Scald is there because it does a bit more damage than, it does less damage than Surf, but there's a chance to burn, which is much more important because if I burn the Dreadnought, and we do about like 45-ish% to a no HP G-Max Dreadnought, so I would like to take that chance, plus the 30% chance to burn. Hurricane does tons of damage, do like 50% to a Clefable, which is nice, and Icy Wind will lower my opponent's speed, if that's the play, because, I mean, let's say we Icy Wind and then we could outspeed with our, our Boltund. Let's say we finally Scarf Hydra. Icy Wind comes out, we lower that thing's speed, and then Boltund comes in, claims a life. Flapple comes in if it's not Scarfed, and then we claim a life as well. So there's that. I'm really hoping that Mantine can put in the work for us. I've had a long enough team builder at this point in time, hoping we can do some work. Looking at this team that we have, this one over here, there are going to be lots of changes, like I said, and I'm hoping that we can get the job done and pick up a couple wins this season, guarantee our spot into playoffs, and I guess just enjoy the rest of the time before the Isle of Armor and the, the Frozen Tundra, is that the one? Come out. So yeah, anyways, I'll be right back, guys, with the battle. Alright everyone, we are back. Unfortunately, this is going to be a post-com. Why? I forgot to lower the audio of the gameplay on OBS, so it sounds so fucking loud, and I'm kind of pissed about it. It's not the way I want to start off the IBL season. We have a really cool game for you guys. Looking at the team he brought the Galarian Mr. Mime, which was not expected at all. The Rain Core definitely was going to be coming, Pelipper and Dreadnought. Toxicroak made sense. It could be a very strong Mon. The Rotom is a possibility as well. I definitely expected that too. Hydreigon, 100%. But he leads off the Rotom as I lead off with my Boltund. My play here is to go ahead and click the Volt Switch. I'm imagining he's potentially a Scarf Rotom. If he is Scarf, he will get the momentum on us. Volt Switch is his play, in my opinion. If he goes for a Blizzard, not going to be too bad. We'll take a huge amount of damage, but at least that way we'll get the information that, one, he's Scarfed, and we'll be able to go into an appropriate counter, something like my Girder or my Tyranitar, which would be able to lower the accuracy of that Blizzard to about 50%. Looking at this thing, though, it is very strong. The combination of its stabs is going to be doing an absolute monstrous amount of damage, and what I'm thinking about here is, what is it going to be taking from a Fire Fang? I am Life Orb boosted, so I'm just trying to check that out, and it's doing like about 80%, so it's not kind of what I'm looking at, but he goes for Thunder, you see here, which outspeeds, and that means that he is 100% choice Scarf. He actually told me after the game that this was a misclick. It was not supposed to be the Thunder there, but I will take it. He goes for Thunder. He shows me that he is definitely choice Scarf, which means I can go freely into my G-Max Flapple here. Now, Flapple has a Dragon Dance, of course, and I was just trying to see, like, is there anything that I have to be worried about? But there really isn't. So Flapple can come in here, Flapple can click one Dragon Dance, and then can basically get a bunch of kills. Big thing is, we won't outspeed the Dreadnought in Rain. We won't outspeed the Scarf Rotom unless we get 2 Dragon Dances off. So if I can get 2, that'd be absolutely amazing. But I believe if it is a Jolly actually no, I think Adamant Dreadnought would outspeed us all the time as well. If it gets to, like, if we're at +2, it still outspeeds us. So I'm going to go for a Dragon Dance here, as he is going to decide what he wants to do, either stay in and go for a Thunder, which will let me get up a free second Dragon Dance, potentially even a third one. So he ends up switching out. He goes hard into Postman, which is 100% the Pelipper. So he's able to get his Rain up here, and Rain sucks for me because, again, now it forces me to go for the max overgrowth here, or the max tartness, excuse me. We are G max Flapple. So we get our Dragon Dance up. At this point, I'm calculating to see if we can go for a regular attack. We don't have to go for we can go for like a regular Grab Apple. We can't. We have to go for the max tartness. If not, we don't KO a max defense, max HP Pelipper. So we have to go for this. It's a 100% chance to get the KO. So why not? I'm also trying to see if Max Worm will get the job done, but it will not, so we have to go for the Max Tartness here. Or no, sorry, Max Tartness will not get the job done. Max Wormwind will. Wow. That's what it was. I think it was, yeah, Max Wormwind will get the job done. It is a bit more powerful with the Outrage being 120 base power compared to Grab Apple's only like 80 base power, I think it is. So that's that. Obviously, Tartness would be nice because it reduces evasion, but at the end of the day, we're trying to KO the Pelipper, so we're not really kind of focusing on evasion. We don't get hit by an Ice Beam to pop our Yachi Berry. We don't get hit by a Hurricane, so that's what that's for. Anyways, we're going to Gigantamax up here, and the fingers crossed that we can always get the KO on this thing. If it's Sash, then it'll live, obviously, but a Max Wormwind will always just get the KO in this situation here. So let's see if he ends up being Scarf with a Timid Nature, because I believe that's outspeed a Modest Pelipper. So we have the Wormwind come out, and this is going to do a huge amount of damage. Does it get the KO? It absolutely does. So this is fantastic. Once the oh my god, the Dreadnought or the Rain runs out, then the Dreadnought is no longer a huge threat. So I will definitely take that 100%. So let's hope that we can do that. But in comes Skullman, which is his Dreadnought here. The good news for us is we don't drop unless he has, I believe even if it's like a max attack Adamant Life Orb Mega Horn, we still survive the hit. So I don't know what his spread is going to be, but again, he has to be like max attack Adamant to be able to take it, or be able to KO us with that Mega Horn here. If he goes for the max Ice Fang, which I imagine would be his move of choice, we will live the hit because of our Yachi Berry. He doesn't know what our item is, so that's that. Anyways, he goes for the Gigantamax of his own. He will be able to do a lot more damage to us with that, and the thing is, if he does go for the max Hailstorm, the max Ice Fang, then he will no longer have access to Blizzard, or not Blizzard, Rain. Wow, words are difficult sometimes. And that means that he won't outspeed my, what is this called, my Flapple anymore. So he goes for the Hailstorm, it pops our Yachi Berry, and it will force him to, I guess, lose out on Rain, which is great for us because it means that if for some reason we don't KO and he's like a Sash Dreadnought, which we find out that he's not, don't worry, he ends up being Life Orb, as we can see with this hit right here. There you go, and we're going to be able to get the KO with Max Tartness. It's 4 times effective. We see the animation for this, and he has a free switch into his Rotom here. There's really no reason to not go into that unless he doesn't have the Blizzard, but I don't think there'd be a reason for him not to have it. So Blizzard, because we're in the Hail, it's 100% accurate, and at this point I'm already thinking, I need to choose a sack. Do I sack off my Flapple, or do I go into my Tyranitar and try and take the hit? And I'm calculating, I'm seeing like, I can't go into T-Tar because on the off chance he's special Toxicroak, I want to be able to live the Vacuum Wave. So I decided not to go into that. And what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to stay in. I'm going to go for an attack, basically just sacking off my Rotom, my Flapple to the Rotom. Biggest reason, once this goes down, I can go freely into my Girder, and Girder just claims lives here. Girder is absolutely fantastic in the remaining, for the remaining few months. Obviously, the Hydreigon could have Draco Meteor, which will do tons of damage. The Rotom's Blizzard is still going to do a huge chunk. The Toxicroak can be problematic as it resists fighting moves. Mr. Mime is a part Psychic, so there's that. But looking ahead, my play here is to sack off my Flapple. It's done its job. It's broken down the Rain Core to its Mons, to my opponent's Mons, which is fantastic. And is really done well, but I just can't bring it in and set up again. It's just not possible unless my opponent locks himself into Thunder on his Rotom again. And even then, we have to rely on Hustle hitting, which I don't want to have happen. So he goes for the Blizzard here, and he has the KO on us, so goodbye to our Flapple. So both times, for my opponent and us, the G-Max Mons actually will faint before the 3 turns are up. Anyways, in comes my Girder. I was actually debating what I want to go into. I was debating if I want to go into my T-Tar here or go into Girder. And I decided to go into Girder here as it has the best chance of getting me the win here. And we're going to see that some interesting plays are made. And again, this is me speaking in hindsight, so I'm going to try and go over what I was thinking in real time. But at this point, what I'm trying to do, by the way, is just make a bunch of calcs, see what's my best bet for certain things. Whether, again, it's be T-Tar or Girder, but T-Tar is not the appropriate play. It's going to be Girder. So What I go for here, I'm thinking, do I go for knockoff or do I go for drain punch? If I go for drain punch, then that's amazing. I'll be able to kill the Rotom, especially if he doesn't go for he doesn't switch out. But I go for knockoff, thinking that he's gonna go hard into the Toxicroak. My play 100% of the time was always to go for the drain punch. Drain punch will do is resisted on the Toxicroak, but so is knockoff. Drain punch also is stab. So if I really want to get rid of the item on the Toxicroak, I can always go for the knockoff later. He stays in, goes for Blizzard, it's 100% accurate in the hail, and I go for the knockoff. He does over half to us, and he freezes us. Insane, but thankfully we thaw out. Oh my god, I was honestly, this reaction was, I'm really pissed I didn't get the reaction because I was so upset. Whew. But the Choice Scarf is gone on the Rotom, which helps us out with our Boltund later on if we want to go for sweep with that. And I go for the Mach Punch here. Now, this is where the problem's going to start coming up. If he decides to go into the Toxicroak here, and he sets up something like, I don't know, a Nasty Plot, we're in big trouble. We should have gone for the Drain Punch. We would have been back to almost full HP with our Girder, had we just done that the first time against the Rotom. But we still have a chance, okay? The Toxicroak is definitely a huge problem, and oh my god. This Pokemon is just an absolute nightmare. If you guys watched our TBL games that I had with Aaron, you would know that this thing is so powerful, it's so strong, and I misplay here. Huge. My play here, once again, is to go for Drain Punch, not knockoff. I go for knockoff though, thinking, okay, if he's special, I'll knock off a Life Orb, so we won't be doing as much damage. If he's physical, I'm sacking myself off, again, losing out on a Life Orb or potentially a Scarf that my opponent would have, and I can go to my T-Tar, which is Scarfed, and I can then get the KO on it with Earthquake or Stone Edge or whatever. But he goes for Nasty Plot. And again, like I said, I go for knockoff. My play here, 100% of the time, is to have gone for the Drain Punch. If I had gone for the Drain Punch, I would be able to do just about as much damage as that, maybe even more. I think the roll was like 25 to 31 or something. So I would have gone for the Drain Punch, gone back a good chunk of health back, and then at that point, this thing with a Life Orb at +2 would not be able to get the KO on me with Sludge Wave. Sorry, no, let me try it again. It would have gone to get the KO on me with Sludge Wave, but I would have been able to live the hit with my Mantine and fire off a Hurricane. Or I could have gone into my Weezing, gone off hit on it. Basically, we spoke after the game, and he's thinking he's about to get to +4 here. And my play here, I believe, is I go for the... I think I switch out here. And I think I go into my... I think I go into my Boltund, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on this, but I definitely switch out here. As it does look like I go into Weezing. I think I go into Weezing here. Yeah, so in comes the Weezing here instead. This was a sack. So if I, again, even if I go for Drain Punch there, I still have a shot at it. But here's why it becomes an issue. He has Nasty Plot again. He gets the +4. He told me after the fact that he would have gone for the Nasty Plot again regardless, if I had gone for the knockoff or not. So my play was go for Drain Punch. If I had gone for 2 Drain Punches there, he would have still gone to get the +4. Even then, he's taking like 60% from Drain Punches. He's taking a Mach Punch after that because a +4 Vacuum Wave from a Life Orb Toxicroak wouldn't OHKO me from that range. And in the end, he would be chipping himself down to Life Orb Recoil. But what's happening now is I'm being forced to go into my Mantine. And the reason I chose the sack there was because I need to have the Mach Punch for Girder available to deal with the Mr. Mime and to deal with the Hydreigon. Mantine has a pretty good chance of surviving this hit. It's actually, there's only 2 rolls that my opponent has to get the KO if he's timid, and he is timid. So he literally needs to get one of 2 rolls to get the KO here. And then I also have to land a Hurricane, to be fair. But at the same time, looking at what I have left, I have Play Rough on my Boltund, I have Fire Fang on it. I have Rock Blast, or Stone Edge, excuse me, on my Tyranitar. So I should be good to go. I should be able to get the job done. But we'll see. Does he get the KO with Sludge Wave? It's going to be close. He gets it. He got the 12% chance, and he gets the KO on our Mantine. And that, guys, is going to be the game, unless he doesn't have Vacuum Wave. If he doesn't have Vacuum Wave, then our Tyranitar wins. And honestly, I think I definitely misplayed a lot this game. I was expecting a more physically offensive set to come, or something that was mixed with Vacuum Wave as an option, but not a Nasty Plot set. And it's going to end up being the end of the world. But looking at it, and this is where I come to the realization in the game, that Nasty Plot with Vacuum Wave was a no-brainer against me. I have an Excadrill. I have a Tyranitar. Both are weak to fighting. Both usually, one is 4 times weak, actually. The other one is going to be outspeeding things and will want to fire off an Earthquake, but if he can get off a Life Orb Vacuum Wave, it's going to do like 50+% to me. He goes for Vacuum Wave here. At +4, it's a guaranteed KO on us, unfortunately. And at this point, there's really not much that we can do. So we are going to lose this game 3-0. I'm disappointed because I choked this game away. I definitely feel like I should have won this game. I just did not associate associate's the wrong word. I didn't see my game plan fast enough. And I noticed it right after the game. As soon as the game ended, I'm like, I noticed it. Girder should have just clicked Drain Punch against the road. There was no reason for me not to do it. And for some reason, I just associated that the switch into Toxicroak was more valuable. That knockoff, for some reason, wasn't resisted, when in reality it was, and so was Drain Punch. But Drain Punch, again, was always a better play. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get a rematch against him unless it's in the playoffs, and it would be with our new team because we do have a brand new team. So we're not going to see how it would have played out, but I'm honestly disappointed. All I had to do was just click Drain Punch twice and then Mach Punch once, and then I can have Life Orb Chip and Sand Damage wear down my opponents, and I would have been fine. It is what it is, and actually I think this is where I see that I should have gone for the Drain Punch, because look what Mach Punch. Look how much Mach Punch does. We're going to fire off a Mach Punch here on my opponent, and it is so much damage. Mach Punch comes out. That's a solid like 20% there. And the roll for Mach Punch, I believe, was like 16 to 19%. So if I can get off 2 Drain Punches, each worth 25 to 31, that's at least, what, 50% to 62%, plus another Mach Punch that's 16 to 19%, plus the 10% my opponent's taking from Life Orb Recoil. Oh boy. Loss is a loss. Should have been better. But what are you going to do? Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on the video. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are back with the IBL. My God, we haven't done very well in the IBL since the time we went to the finals, and I'm hoping that we can change that. Next week, we take on Beta and his Jumpluff Express. Should be a good game for you guys. These games are going to be going up on Sunday, so enjoy it. Happy Sunday to everyone. And yeah. Anyways, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.